Go love your own enemies. Don't be loving mine. My enemies are the theocratic fascists. I don't love them. I want to destroy them.
Child made in the image of God. Oh no, you're not. You're a faggot. And you can't join your church and you can't go to heaven. This is disgraceful. It's inhuman.
Hey there. So do I look mysterious to you? Or do I look like a complete idiot? I was just outside with these glasses. They get dark when I'm in the light, and then they slowly, gradually... Actually, Stevie Wonder, I could do this. Anyway, they gradually get lighter when you're inside, indoors. I'm trying not to be upset right now. It's very hard to be calm when we're sitting on the threshold of watching our country die. I have so many friends that are going to seriously suffer because all those Republicans are wanting to have their revenge on President Obama. That is all it is. That's all it is. They want to strike back. This is like the Empire strikes back against the Jedis, whatever. That's what it is. They don't care about the people that are going to be affected, the lives that are going to be ruined, and possibly, I've read there's a projected 27,000 people they have projected to die when they lose their ability to have insurance. I saw a post on Facebook earlier. In fact, I'm going to put a picture up of the woman who posted this picture, because this is just one example of a whole bunch of examples of real people who've done nothing wrong, but they're going to lose their ability to get a refill on their prescription drugs. They're going to lose their ability to be able to afford expensive medical care that is life-saving. It is what is keeping them alive, and they're going to lose it because Republicans are just foaming at the mouth, excited and eager to rip Obama and everything he did for this country to shreds. Oh, the ACA, Affordable Care Act, Obamacare is so terrible. We're just going to get rid of it because it's so terrible. It's so filled with flaws. Yeah, I've never been a champion of Obamacare. Otherwise known, the proper name for it is actually the Affordable Care Act. We're having a cat and dog fight in the background. The Affordable Care Act, that's the proper term, but it's been called Obamacare, whatever. I've never been a big fan. And here I am defending it. Never thought that I would be defending this. I always thought it was unconstitutional to force poor people to pay a penalty for not being able to afford insurance. I always thought it was unconstitutional to require that people have to be insured by something or they will be punished and penalized. I thought that was really bad form. When I was, before I finally got a job and I was unemployed, I was not able to afford even the Affordable Care Act, the policies that it was offering. I wasn't even able to afford them. Now those are going away, but some people are lucky and they were able to afford them, and that has been their lifeline and their ability to get care and their ability in some cases to prolong their lives, like this woman here. And this is just a picture of her. I'm not going to say her name because I want to respect her privacy. But what she wrote on Facebook was, thanks to the after-midnight rape and blunder of the ACA, my battle with cancer may be short-lived if I have my insurance canceled. Thanks a bunch. I feel so much better now. This is just one person of how many people? I have a friend who has congestive heart failure. and she is trying to continue to take care of her husband with dementia in her home because he feels comfortable around things that are familiar. You know, if you have congestive heart failure, you're really tired all the time. It's really hard for you just to get out of bed in the morning. And here she is trying to be a good, supportive spouse to her husband and take care of him, rather than just, and you know, half the time he doesn't even know she's there or who she is. And she's doing this. So this is a really good person, a good-hearted person. She's not garbage. She doesn't deserve to be thrown into a trash bin, which is kind of how the feeling that I get here from the new Republican order is we're just going to throw everybody who can't afford insurance away. We're going to throw all the old people away. We're not going to let them have the ability to survive anymore with Social Security that they've been paying into all their lives while they were working and contributing to our society and helping to make our society great, but now they're too old to do that anymore. So instead of rewarding them and giving them a comfortable existence in their golden years, we're going to make it impossible for them to afford their apartment. Their little tiny apartment that's probably smaller than Trump's bathroom. We're going to make it impossible for them to live in that little apartment anymore because they won't get Social Security anymore. The only way they can keep living is for them to work. So, yeah. And how many of us have actual retirement plans anymore? Not very many people, especially with the huge economy going down the toilet. Thank you, President Bush. A lot of us lost our retirement that we had saved up. So we're looking at old age in the face with no retirement. And, ooh, they're going to take Social Security away, too. So we're looking at cardboard boxes. Not little apartments, just cardboard boxes freezing to death on the street. Because the Republicans are saying to us loud and clear that people who can't make so much money, basically the top 3% of people in this country, everybody else, they don't fucking care if you can have your chemo next week, or if your child can have their kidney dialysis treatment next week, or if you can go and get a refill of your $500 prescription medication now that you've just ingested the last tablet. They don't care. They really don't. The voice of the people totally does not matter anymore. I don't know if others have noticed this, but I have noticed this. Oh, by the way, Trump himself admits the election was hacked. Has he had the integrity to say, you know what, this is really not fair. This is not fair that I won because of the fact that the election was hacked. I think it's important that the voice of the American people be heard and that we have an honest election that's fair and accurate to actually put into office a person that America actually wants, not Russia. If Trump had even this much integrity in his body, he would be the one to insist on us having a new and fair and correct, accurate election. But no. It all worked in his favor, didn't it? So he's just gonna take the mantle of leadership. Oh, but he's not gonna put America first. No. He's not gonna put America first. If he was going to put America first, he would simply get rid of his companies. Oh, you know, that was a part of my life. That was a phase of my life. No, I'm starting a new chapter. And my new chapter is all about putting America first and making my visions happen. That's not what he's doing. Oh, you know, I think I'm going to think of the presidency as a little hobby that I do on the side while I'm working with my insurance. Who cares if there's conflict of interest all over the place? Trump doesn't put America first, nor does he put any consideration into what people in America actually want. The fact that the majority of this country do not want him doesn't care. The fact that the majority of this country did not vote for him and that there was voter suppression and a lot of people didn't get to vote at all. I read in this one article that they actually think if you put in all the would-be votes that didn't get to happen because of the suppression of minority vote, they projected that Hillary Clinton actually is looking at like 10 million more votes than Trump, not 3 million. But, you know, voter suppression, well, you know, that's just what Republicans do. This is turning into a rant. It wasn't actually going to be a rant. It was just going to be a nice, happy, pleasant little video with me chatting away about the fact that people are going to die. But no, it didn't turn into that at all. So back on the subject of seniors. They can't live in houses anymore, apartments anymore, because we're going to lose our Social Security because the Republicans have wanted to get rid of it for so long. They don't like the fact that little people can continue to survive. Oh, and forget Medicare, too. We don't want the older people to have any way to get medical care. I think they actually just want people who are old, sick, or poor, or mentally ill, to crawl away and die. Oh, and ugly women. That's add them to the list now. Ugly women. And Muslims. Get rid of the Muslims. Get rid of the Mexicans. Get rid of anybody who's got brown skin, really. Just crawl away and die. We don't want you. Honestly, I have... Okay, full-blown rant. We're this close. We're this close to going completely off the edge and doing a full-blown rant. But I really think that these are the most sadistic, heartless people right now. Every single person that the Senate, they get together late at night to plot and to plan and to destroy everybody's hope. Who cares that it's a lifeline for so many people to be able to still get medical care and still get their drugs that maybe, just maybe those drugs are what is keeping them alive. Oh, well, we don't care. We just want to get back at Obama. Oh, well, it has so many flaws. The Affordable Care Act has so many flaws. It's just horrendously flawed. So we're just going to get rid of it now. We're just get rid of it. Oh, that's true. We did promise America that we would come up with a better thing first, or we wouldn't get rid of all of it. We would keep part of it, the part that people need, you know, that keeps them alive. We did make that promise, but we're going to completely forget it now. We're going to totally go back on our word and just get rid of the whole thing with nothing to replace it. And we got the person out there in the middle of the ocean holding on to their little flawed life ringy, the little ringy that you throw to people, life preserver. They're holding on, and the life preserver's got holes. It's flawed. Oh no, it's so flawed. Well, shit, it's flawed. They're going to yank that life preserver away from that poor person out there in the middle of the ocean, and they're not going to throw a better one to them. They're just going to, here, that's flawed. We don't want that out there. You shouldn't be holding on to that because it's flawed. Oh, but we don't have something better for you to hold on to, so I guess you're just gonna drown. That's essentially what they're doing. And they're in such a big rush to do it. Oh my God, they're just foaming at the mouth to do it. And they're sitting there like, oh, we want to give those rich people in America a big tax break. Oh, but the poor people in America, we're the ones that get to pay for the wall that we didn't vote for and we didn't want. Oh, Trump's promise that Mexico is going to pay for the wall, and all the idiots that actually believe that promise. So, this turned into such a rant. I'm sorry. But the voice of the people is a thing of the past. People don't matter. This is the new reality, folks. People don't matter. Money matters more. Money matters more. Anything you look at that they're doing in our government, that's the theme. It isn't about making America great again. It's about money matters more. Everything they are doing benefits the rich in this country. And Donald Trump. And Donald Trump's rich billionaire people that he's appointed into his cabinet. Every single one of them is either a homophobe, a xenophobe, or a misogynist. Or foaming at the mouth rabid Christian who thinks that public schools are a bad thing. Yeah, we're going to get rid of public schools and we're only going to have private schools. There again, how many people can afford private schools? Well, most of us can't. Only the wealthy people. So, gee, what happens to the poor kids? Where do they go to school? And if they're private schools, does that mean that they're going to be teaching religion in those private schools? Do you think so? Gee, I wonder what religion it will be that they're teaching in those private schools all across the country. No more public schools, just private schools. What do you suppose the religion will be that they're teaching to the children? To the atheist children, and the Buddhist children, and the Hindu children, and the Muslim children, assuming there are any Muslim children left in the country, and the Wiccan children, and the pagan children, and the satanic the children of Satanists, whatever, who are really atheists. They're just mocking Christianity. And the devil worshippers, which should not be mistaken for Satanists, because those are two different things, okay? All those children of people who don't believe in Christianity, and maybe, oh, I think I didn't say Jewish children too. The children of all these people of other religions who don't want their children exposed to Christianity because they actually think Christianity is disgusting and a poison in society, are being forced to make for their children to go to school and have Christianity shoved down their throats. Gee, doesn't that sound great? Yeah. I think there's something in the Constitution about not showing preferential treatment toward any one religion. But Trump has somebody in his cabinet. I don't remember what her position is exactly. Who is against public schools? Great. There's this thing called separation of church and state. So this gets rid of that because there aren't any public schools anymore. So if they're all private, you can just shove your fucking Christianity down people's throats left and right. And who cares? There's no other option. I guess if you're an atheist, you'll just have to homeschool your child. If you want your child to learn science, you're going to have to homeschool your child. Wow, this has turned into a big rant. So, let's see. We got the dumbing down process because more children will be going to private schools and learning about God and Jesus and the fact that the earth is flat and it's only 6,000 years old and Jesus is going to come back any day now, so we don't need to worry about the environment anymore and protecting the planet. That's another thing we're going to lose. We're going to lose all the national parks, our most treasured resource, something that was passed down to us by the founding fathers. We're going to lose. Yeah, because I think Trump would rather put a strip mall there or a casino or a hotel, something that brings in the money. So who cares if animals have any place anymore? Who cares if our environment is dead? Who cares if our air is polluted to the point that our future generations are dying of horrible diseases or maybe not even going to live because the planet is going to be so dead? One day, everyone's like, well, I read this thing, someone said that Obama's legacy, his only legacy will be the color of his skin. No, you know, that's really not true. Obama's legacy will be that he helped the country get out of a ruin that Bush caused this country. He brought back the auto industry in this country. He brought back jobs in this country. He brought more human rights to people, not less. He brought health care to people, not less. He brought the troops back. He killed Osama bin Laden, among others. He became a leading force in trying to slow down global warming and correct or alleviate climate change, Obama will be remembered favorably. But in the future, children of our children, our grandchildren, or their whatever, are going to look back at Trump and curse him. And they will curse every single person who's going to make America great again. They're going to curse these people for polluting their planet to the point of no return. Taking away the parks so there's no place to go camping or hiking or just see beauty anymore or hear the sound of wolves howl. It's going to be gone for them. It's just going to be gone because we had a president who didn't fucking care about anything else except his business and making money and fucking sucking up to Russia. That's another thing. Why is he even president-elect? He himself has admitted the election is hacked. It's illegitimate. In any other country, this election would have been declared null and void and done over. But I guess America is just not worth it. Our future is just not worth it. It's just such a bother to put together on those ballots and have it done over to get an actual correct result. It's just not worth it. So instead we're going to put this child who has emotional temper tantrums every single day on Twitter. He cannot have a thought cross his little brain without putting it out there on Twitter. He's gonna be the fucking president of the United States and he's attacking Meryl Streep? Really? He's attacking Alec Baldwin? Excuse me, Rosie O'Donnell? Really? The president of the United States posting on Twitter, the man is a child. He's an infant who never grew up. He's never worked a day in his life. He's never understood for even a moment what it's like to not have health care or anything. He's had everything handed to him. He's gotten where he's gotten by simply walking on other people and taking them, destroying other people's small businesses, fraudulent universities. I'm sorry, the man is disgusting and incompetent and emotionally, he's mentally ill. He's emotionally unfit. He's ethically bankrupt. He has no concept of compassion. What is compassion? What is caring for other people? It never crosses his mind that the homely woman, the homely girl that he fired because she just wasn't hot, might have a family that was hoping for her paychecks to survive. Never crosses his mind that she might have hurt feelings because he thought she was ugly and probably said it to her face. And that's what he does. He insults people. He throws out horrible insults to people to their face and doesn't even think about the feelings that that person has because he has no conscience. He is a narcissistic sociopath. A sociopath has no conscience. And he is, if there's a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 10. He doesn't have a flicker of a conscience. He doesn't even understand when he does something wrong. The concept of apology doesn't even cross his mind. The fact that his actions and the actions of the Senate, who, I'm sorry, a huge chunk of them are also sociopathic, don't care about human life. They don't care about how their actions are going to cause children to die. Children who need chemotherapy to live and have a hope of a future are going to die. I can put a picture of this adult woman up and say, look, this woman's going to die sooner now because she can't have her chemotherapy. A lot of people will just look at that and go, so she's ugly. So what? because that's the kind of mentality that voted for Trump. Same kind of mentality. The sociopaths in this country, that's who voted for Trump and Russia. Yeah, but if you invoke children and say, children, cute, cuddly little children with cancer, looking with hope in their eyes up at the camera, oh, please, give us a chance for survival. Those are the kind of things that maybe, just maybe, might make those sociopathic people have a flicker of feeling and maybe, oh, that's so sad. Oh, but I'm going to go out and buy something at whatever, Bloomingdale's. Yeah, this has really turned into a rant, but I'm sorry. This is what we've come to. Human life just doesn't matter. This is what I think. I think all the people who can't afford health insurance and who are going to lose their ability to get medical care, go get your medical care. When you go and you fill out your medical forms, put as the guarantor, put as the guarantor President Donald J. Trump. Put him as a guarantor. Put the address, the billing address on your medical forms, the White House address. Have them send all the bills to the White House and to the rich guy who can afford to actually pay those bills. That's what I think everybody should do who can't afford their bills. Send them to Donald Trump, the rich guy. He'll take care of it. Or just don't pay your bills, because that's what he does. Or maybe you should, this is what you should do. Call the hospital or the surgeon or the whatever it is, ambulance company, and just say, I only sent you $20 instead of the $30,000 that you wanted me to pay because I just wasn't satisfied with your service. So I'm just going to pay you $20. That's what Trump does. You can take me to court if you want to, but you'll never get your money. So you might as well just accept the $20 and move on. That's what Trump does. That's what he's done his whole life to small business owners. So follow in the example of your president. This is the leader of our country, and this is the example he has given us to follow. So, if you send the bills to the White House and he doesn't pay the bills that you can't afford to pay, then just send him $20-30 and maybe write a little letter and say, I would pay you more, but I just wasn't completely satisfied with your service. Yeah, do that. And I'm trying to think what else you can do. Another thought. I thought I had more than one thought. Oh, don't pay your taxes this year. Yeah, just don't pay them. Don't pay your taxes. Well, do your little TurboTax thing, and if it says you're going to get money back, then do them. But if it says you owe money, just don't pay your taxes. Why should you? Our leader, our illustrious leader, Donald J. Trump, says it's stupid to pay your... Actually, he says it's smart to not pay your taxes. And you're smart. You want to be just like your leader, don't you? So, hey, don't pay your taxes. Be smart. He said it's squandering your money to pay your taxes. So don't do it. Billionaires don't have to pay their taxes. Why should you? The billionaires who can actually afford to pay their taxes don't have to pay their taxes. So why should you, somebody who can't afford to pay your taxes? Makes perfect sense to me. Okay, so this has turned into us probably like 100 million minutes long. I'm very angry, very frustrated, very upset, disgusted, disillusioned. I feel like they're shoving an illegitimate election result down our throats. The man did not win. He is mentally unsound and incompetent. He has a huge conflict of interest with his companies that he refuses to let go, his businesses, which makes the presidency kind of like his little hobby on the side. He also has a divided interest. He's not focusing all. Conflict of interest and divided interest. So he should be ineligible to be president based on those things. And the thing with Russia hacking, Russia has a vested interest in everything Donald Trump does. That also should disqualify him from being president. But the fact that even he himself says that the election was hacked should render the results of that hacked, manipulated, tampered with, fraudulent election null and void. America's voice has not been heard. The majority of this country's voice is being ignored. We, the American people, are being ignored by our own government. And that is the reality now. We don't have a voice anymore. We don't get to have a say whether or not poor people and sick people and elderly people get taken care of by our society. We don't have a say anymore. We just don't. We can walk around pretending like we do, but we don't. We don't even get to pick who our leaders are anymore. That has been taken away every time we have an election now. If it's manipulated by... You know, that's the other thing. I have to end with this thought. If this had happened in reverse, if Russia had aided Hillary Clinton, and we had enough evidence to show it as fact, and even Clinton was walking around saying, yep, the election was rigged, it was hacked, so that I would win, what would be happening right now? Would Trump be tolerating it? Like Hillary has been showing so much class and conceding, okay, whatever. She hasn't challenged this thing. Would Trump be showing that much class right now? Would he be tolerating it? Would Trump's followers be tolerating it as much as Democrats are right now? Republicans are saying, oh, you whiny little Democrats are so unhappy. If it was in reverse, the Republicans would have started civil war right now. We would be at war right now. They threatened it. They said that before the election even happened. They said, we're going to have a war if we don't get our way. We're going to have civil war if we don't win. There's going to be bloodshed if we don't win. We're going to start forming militias in our backyards just in case we don't win. That's what the Republicans were saying before the election happened. So if this thing had happened in reverse, if the election had been hacked to favor Hillary Clinton, we would be in a civil war right now. But instead, because it favored Trump and all his little children followers who are threatening to commit bloodshed if they don't get their way, and we've got the majority of the House and the Senate Republicans, we're just all forced to have to accept a hacked election result, an illegitimate election result. The majority of this country, doesn't matter that it's a hacked election. We have to accept it. That's what our government is telling us. It's too fucking bad you don't like it, but oh well.